going to have a special performance by Interstate's creators, Kiet, Ianne, and Melissa Lee.
Melissa said don't roll it all the way back, but I think the first time we met is the funniest. At an Asian Sisters in Action event. Yes.
Back when Kiet was an Asian sister in action.
And so, yes. And Melissa thought that I was a celebrity.
Yeah, it was just kind of the way that he carried himself, and he's just like, I'm Kiet, yeah, and I'm from Hawaii, and I've won 1 million slam poetry things.
And you thought that was significant for some reason.
I guess people like slam poetry somewhere.
Yeah, so we were performing, and in the dressing room, I said to Melissa, hey, why don't you, we barely knew each other. I was like, why don't you quit your job and go on tour with me?
I was like, I have no idea who you are, but sure, let's do it.
Now I'm falling off the wagon, but now I'm climbing myself back in. Cause when I lose my balance, I have to use my talents, digging my heels.
I don't know, what's fun about Interstate to me is that it's like semi-autobiographical.
Yeah. Literally, it's about a trans, spoken word, Asian American performer and his best friend, a lesbian singer-songwriter.
Along the way, they inspire Henry, a young South Asian transgender teenager whose family, community, and church doesn't support him, who finds out about the band on the internet and decides that he's going to go to a show of the band's.
If only I could see them, if only I could meet them, I would find my way out. Father can't know my heart bleeds. No one cares what this boy needs, and no one seems to listen. No one here can hear me. That's why I share my life into a screen.
So many young people especially have said to us, like, we never thought in our lifetime we would see this or play this role, which is so sad because they're young and they have like a whole life to live, so.
No, absolutely. I mean, and casting it was kind of hard too, because every other time that we'd ever done the show, like, usually people casting directors come back and say, oh, there's really specific characters here. There's
Too hard.
There's
so
like
hard.
a trans South Asian young person who like hadn't taken tea before, who like needs to fit. And so I think I ended up like emailing, I guess, like every musical theater program. Really, I was just like, oh, here's a description of like what we're looking for. Like, can you locate this person for me and send them our way? And we ended up having like 12 people audition. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the way that the show has been finding its voice in its community too, is that like people have just been finding out about it on Twitter and on the internet and from a friend of a friend, and just like coming out and showing up and writing to us.
And I hope to see you again on stage sometime. So much on the road when unspoken. Here's hoping someday I'll be unbroken. Goodbye, former life on the open.
I mean, honestly, like every time I talk about Interstate and what I'm excited for, it's not the next step. Like the next step of Interstate, it'll happen and it'll be great, and everyone like who's supposed to be there and work on it will be there. You know, it'll be queer and trans people of color making this great show every step of the way. But I always care most about what happens many steps down the line. The best and most exciting part is that maybe it gets licensed to high schools, community centers, colleges, like people who just want to do their own version of it, but then they go out and they make their own queer, trans, Asian American, people of color centric musicals, radical feminist musicals. We didn't make this show so that our stories could be told for all eternity. We made this show so that our whole communities can go out there.
It's just a dream that's unfulfilled, left along the roadside, but still it belongs to me. I'll kiss you goodbye, and then say